Hello, welcome to Writing Quest. My name is Brendan Pugh, and you're probably wondering why we're on the old set from previous videos. You're also probably wondering why I might be talking in this strange way. Well, it's because in this episode we are going to celebrate some things, and we're also going to be talking about Aiden and where Aiden has been and where Aiden is going. Huzzah!
Huzzah!
Alright, welcome to Writing Quest, and on today's special episode, we're going to celebrate a few things and talk to Aiden about where he has been. So, Aiden, where have you been?
Well, so I have been preparing for a baby.
A baby.
As of this recording, my wife is 37 weeks pregnant.
That's very pregnant.
She's a balloon and about to pop. That's 37 out of 40. I know this isn't Math Quest, but math. So pretty excited about that. And, so that's kind of where I've been away and trying to figure out how to schedule things has been an issue. So
Yes,
absolutely.
Well, we're coming up on a year of Writing Quest, and so we thought we'd do a old style episode to talk about what that year's been like, and to also talk about which is exciting.
I'm really interested to know if there's people out there that remember this style. So if you are one of the OGs from back in the day,
put a comment below.
How long you been here? Because this is very exciting. 1 year.
Yeah, so let's talk about it. So beginning, we started on Bella's birthday. Bella's my yellow lab, who's 2. On February 15th is when rattle. How do we stop the rattling? Okay, you stay there. It's all right. I'll edit it out. We'll fix it in post. So we started this on February 15th last year, and it was kind of how might you say, a whirlwind? What even happened?
So here's what it was.
Tell me how it happened. Aiden.
Okay, so I was like, Brendan,
Aiden,
you should start a writing channel, or wait, I can't remember. You should start a YouTube channel because you're trying to write your books. And
I was like, that's stupid, as per usual. He says a thing, I say it's stupid, and then eventually I come around to it.
I'm always right. Anyway, so then I said, I'll do it with you.
Perfect.
So awesome. I love YouTube. It was a great time.
One of the things is I had to get over giving out the secrets, because we couldn't figure out how to do a channel and not give away the story.
Yeah.
And then eventually we were like, give away the story.
Give away the secrets, which I think was the right move.
I think it was the right move.
Because it's how do you make writing entertaining?
Right. Well, and then, we don't have to give out the secrets to every book forever. Yeah. But it was just for this particular one to get it going. It was kind of like one of the things for me that whenever you watch writing channels, they're always talking about like writing theory
and routine.
Then you don't know how to apply it. Like, what do you do with it? Where does it go? And so my idea and your idea was to like, this is us actually writing it, and this is us going through the whole process. And if you watch those earlier videos, we had no idea what we were doing.
No idea.
We was just talking. Still really dumb. We're figuring it out. It's a whole thing.
You're doing great.
I'm trying to. Yeah. So, I think that was the start of it. And then pretty much in 1 week, we had started it, done all the artwork, gotten everything going.
All of it. Did our first 5 videos that first week.
Yeah. And then we went kind of nuts for a while. And then we had about 2 months of really solid going, and seeing some progress. Not a whole lot, but some. And then Aiden ruined everything.
Because I got married to a very beautiful woman who I love very, very much.
She's the one having the baby.
Yeah.
In case you're wondering about that.
Yeah.
And then we kind of dropped off for a while.
I mean,
took us a couple months to get back to it.
I don't regret it.
No.
I also started a new job, and I also started a whole bunch of things.
Yeah.
And then I think we got to around 37 subscribers by the end of the summer, maybe last year.
Yep. And then we had another little moment where we
dropped off
due to just a couple of factors in our personal lives. That's why it's a journey.
Yeah.
You're figuring it out. And then an event happened that we'll discuss here in a moment. That's when you might have noticed I started going solo, and I put out a video where Aiden betrayed me.
It's true.
And left. And
stabbed him in the back.
Stabbed me right in the heart. And so At that moment, though, it was kind of a make or break. So, if you noticed, started putting out a lot more videos. Mm-hmm. And from the beginning of November to just today, as of this recording, we went from 37 subscribers to 100 subscribers.
To 100.
That is the celebration for today. We are at 100 subscribers. It's a pretty momentous occasion.
Yeah. And hey, remember you were like, we're going to get to 100 subscribers in 3 months. And I was like, we could probably do it in a year. And in 10 days, it'll be 1 year. 10 days from this recording.
I think I hate you. I think that's what it is.
I just like, you're smarter than me, but I just love how often I'm right.
That's the worst, but also kind of true. Okay. So,
yeah. So we're talking about 100 subscribers.
Got to 100 subscribers. So, Aiden, what have you been doing? And now you haven't just been dealing with baby stuff, although that's been a majority of it. You have been doing some things.
So I've been working my big boy job, trying to do that. I've been helping my wife with baby stuff. And then the other thing, every spare minute or moment that I'm not doing something, I have been writing.
Let's see it. Writing. What are you writing, Aiden?
One more time. I hit the mic.
He's been writing his own book.
I've been writing my own book.
What's it called?
It's called Heroes of Huzzah.
Excellent.
Huzzah is the land. And I'm going to talk a lot about this. And I think that this is a great time to announce I'm going to be starting my own YouTube channel.
It's true.
My separate one. It's going to be called Author Quest.
Author Quest. See what we did there? Writing Quest, Author Quest. So we are going to be adjacent channels, but working together. Collaborating, but separate channels.
Yeah. The easiest way, the most important thing is that it's going to be more content for all of you. And then the other thing is it makes it easier for us to produce content, and then we can still do our collaborations and stuff. But the very first thing that I'm going to be talking about is what the story is and why it exists and how I came about doing it. I'll give a little bit of a spoiler, I think. Yeah. So, we'll talk about Of Wolves and Wizards for a moment. So Aiden is no longer writing in Of Wolves and Wizards. I have handed it over. He had one side of the reins. I had the other one.
He is still a big part of that process, and I definitely talked to him about all of my ideas. But since then, if you've been watching the channel, you know that I have changed things significantly, and I am now doing the sole writing on the project. So that's where Of Wolves and Wizards starts.
It's true. We're each other's consultants.
Yes, consultants indeed.
Yes.
So you're going to be writing Heroes of Huzzah. What's if you could give us like a little synopsis.
Okay.
What would it be about?
So how this came about was I had this eye-opening revelation about.
Well, most revelations are eye-opening.
It's true.
That's what makes them revelations.
Yeah, reveling. Anyway, so I realized that I am not a master writer, Brendan. I've never fully written a book.
What?
I know. What? It was a surprise to me, too. I just...
What?
But it's true. I have never written a book completely, and I realized that I am not a master.
Well, I have. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm barely even a novice, right? So right. I just kind of had this realization. It was like, I'm not going to write my masterpiece, first off, out of the gate. Mm-hmm. I think most people don't. J.K. Rowling, I mean, I don't know what happened there.
Is that the first thing she ever wrote, though? Might be the first thing she ever published, but it was the first thing she ever wrote.
That's true. I guess
good question. I don't know. Leave it in the comments if you know, because I don't know.
You know, and there's a lot of people that are like, oh man, I got to write my book. No, I don't want to just write one big series and become known for that. I want writing to be a part of my life forever.
Yeah.
And so I realized that I'm a student at this. And so I thought I'm going to rely on the greats. And I said, okay, I need to focus on one skill set at a time, pretty much. So I decided to take what is the story that I want to write. And then that came out as, I want to write Star Wars.
You want to write Star Wars?
I want to write Star Wars. That's what inspired me to become an author, all that stuff.
Classic story.
And so, Star Wars is a great example of like clinging to the hero's journey almost to a fault.
Yeah.
And so what I did is...
Especially the first movie.
Especially
the first movie for sure is like just there's no more classic hero journey than that.
Yeah. That's pretty much it. Yeah. So I bit by bit, every single plot point in Star Wars. I did the same exact thing. I changed the names, all the things. And then I am now using that as a basis. I am learning how stories work.
Okay.
So essentially what I'm doing is I'm writing what is essentially Star Wars, but I'm adding elements in that Star Wars doesn't have. I'm taking out elements that I don't want to have in it. It's a fantasy story instead of a sci-fi story.
Yeah.
And as I've made those changes, the story has been evolving. And I've learned a lot about storytelling. I've learned more than I have in a long time. And what is great about it...
You're essentially, you're deconstructing the story.
Yeah.
To build your own story.
It was like, I took Star Wars and I was like, how does this work? And instead of being like theoretical and like, oh, well, this is great because of this character and this character and just saying it. No, I am doing a practical, essentially. Right. You know, like you would do in college. I am practically doing this and I'm writing this story. And it's kind of taken a life of its own. Mm-hmm. And I would say that it is the best characters that I've ever written. Because I don't have to worry about the plot.
Well, and especially what I've read of the prose that you're writing, it's definitely has more direction. It feels better. It flows better. I think what you've done so far is really great. And of course, and that's why we're saying it out loud, the obvious thing is like, it is Star Wars.
It's not supposed to not be Star Wars.
Yeah. So if you were to come across it and read it someday and go, this guy just ripped off Star Wars. Yes. Yes,
I did. 300%. And it's not about how much I like Star Wars it is. It's about how it's different.
Yeah.
And I think that I am holding the hands of George Lucas. Like he is my pop. He's leading me through.
And what I've pushed him on to do is once he gets to the end of that first draft, then when you go back, start pushing it away from.
Yes.
You know,
I can go back and make changes, make it.
You have a solid story.
Yeah.
And then you're pushing it away from.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's one interesting thing that's been happening is when I make a change anywhere, I immediately know because I know that the plot is already set. I know what has to change in the beginning and the end at any point in the story.
Right.
Which has been so valuable. And I'm really starting to realize the value of outlining.
Yeah.
And having that.
You know, it took me a long time to learn that too. I always thought like having just kind of I actually have an idea for this video, which I'll be making soon, which is that pantsing and outlining are the same thing.
Yeah.
Because you have to outline at some point, and if you pants it, that's just your outline.
Yeah.
I mean, you're essentially like, at the end of the day, no matter what happens, however you do it, you eventually have to outline.
Yeah.
So I've taken a cue from Abby Emmons, who I really like her channel, and basically just saying, my first draft is a detailed outline. So instead of my first draft being prose, my first draft is the detailed outline.
Right.
Then my prose is the second draft, and her whole premise of that is she's never had to revise. She has to edit and go through and make changes, of course, as any writer does. But she's never had to write a revised draft because she's doing that the first time because she has such a detailed outline.
And I like that, and I totally see the value of that.
And it takes a lot of thought.
Yeah,
it's very hard. Like that's been one of the things that's been the hardest for me is like sitting down and you're basically just thinking. You're just sitting there. You're just like it's just in your head, and then you write like a sentence.
And that's writing.
Yeah. And so
people are like, you didn't do anything today. I was like, I did so much today.
Yeah. So you're essentially you're doing that part of it, but you're using Star Wars as a basis.
Yes. I'm using it as a crutch, but in a healthy learning environment. And I think and as I go on, I'm going to try it with different books, different stuff to learn what they're doing. And what I want to get to is like, I want to get to the point where I'm like, well, I know what my outline is supposed to be. I know what works and I know what doesn't work plot wise. And then I'm going to focus on, so with this, I've been learning about how to write prose and how to write my characters and environments and descriptions and all that stuff. And I've been able to have fun with that without having to worry about the plot. But now, after this, I can focus on like, how do I do plot? And then I already have built up the skills.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah. And I was initially worried. I was like, I'm stealing. But I was like, no, I'm not. Everyone's redone Star Wars. Yeah. Because it's the hero's journey.
Well, the best art is always an imitation in some ways.
Yeah.
You know, for sure. That's it today for this episode of Writing Quest. To recap, we have 100 subscribers. Check. We have 2 books we're writing.
Check.
Heroes of Hala and of Wolves and Wizards.
Yep.
And we have 2 YouTube channels. One under construction. One fledglingly awesome. Is that a word? Can I say that? Fledglingly awesome.
It's a fledgling channel. But you're getting there.
Yeah, I mean, 100 subs.
You're in the top 5% of YouTube channels now.
Really?
Yeah, 95% of YouTube channels have less than 100 subscribers.
Look at us go.
Top 5%.
And that's thanks to you guys.
Yeah.
Really appreciate it.
I mean, we could just sit here and talk in our basement as much as we wanted to, but...
Yeah, I'm loving it. So keep an eye out for all that, and you'll see me in his videos and him in our videos, and it'll be a fun time. We'll talk about writing as we always do. Will you be posting the book on Wattpad? What's your plan?
So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to be posting a video of how I wrote this book, and I'm going to... I don't know. I hadn't even thought about that. I could do it on Wattpad, or I could just publish it to Amazon right away.
You could?
I don't know. So keep an eye out.
Yeah. And expect first video hopefully sometime around March.
End of March, beginning of April.
Okay. So we still have quite a ways to go. But it's okay. So anyways, like, comment, share, subscribe. Keep the discussion going. If you have any questions for me or Aiden, just put that comment down below, and we'll see you on next time. We'll see you next time on Writing Quest when we have 1,000 subscribers. Could we do it? We'll see you next time on Writing Quest. Huzzah!
Huzzah! Blinken, what are you doing? I'm listening, guessing. Oh, Robin, they took your arm.